Hey, what is up? My name is 𝙁𝙁𝙇. I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos recently and I've been getting a lot out of them. And I thought I might make my own little tutorial here to show people how I light close-ups and to do it in a way that's cinematic, that's beautiful, that's interesting. I would consider close-ups part of the fundamental language of filmmaking. You need them in documentaries, you need them in feature films, you need them in vlogs, anytime you have a person's face on camera, you need to know how to light that in a way that conveys both who they are and looks good. So what we're going to do today is look at what I've got going on here in this lighting setup piece by piece and see what each light does and the effect that it gives us. So this is where most people might start. A big open window behind camera reflecting sunlight into the room with the subject, me, far enough from the background that we're lit differently. Now, this is great and a good starting point, but I think this sort of lighting lacks dimensionality. It lacks craft. It lacks sort of, it lacks control. You're basically subject to whatever the light is doing outside, and as the sun comes and goes, your exposure is going to change and give you a different look, even though that wasn't your intention. So let's get rid of the sun and start with a blank canvas. Okay, here we are. Blank inside, no sunlight coming in, or very little sunlight coming in, lit by a single source. In this case, a small little LED panel. Now, the problem with this is that the size of the source being so small compared to the subject, to me, it's going to give these kind of harsh, strong lines where I don't particularly want any. I want something softer. I'm going to need a bigger source. That's much better. I'm now being lit by a light mat 2L, which is approximately 4 foot long by a foot high. And it's getting rid of those harsh shadows and giving me illumination without lines that interfere with the shape of my face. It is getting a lot of spill on the background, so I'm going to put on this egg crate and try and control it. That's a lot better, much more focused, much more directional. Now I can light the background separately to the subject. So my next task is to even further isolate the subject from the background by bringing in a 3/4 backlight that's going to get rid of this dark area on this side and sort of chisel me out further from the background. So now we have a 2-foot light stick, LED light stick, set to a slightly more tungsten temperature to give even more variation in the tone. Now we have a hair light from the same source, a battery-powered LED stick light, and our subject is lit. Now we have to focus on the background. So the LED lights in my camera cabinet do something, but a better solution is these like $5 LED fairy lights or Christmas lights that you get on Amazon. They create nice patterns, they create nice bokeh when they're out of focus, and they give a sense of dimensionality, further sense of dimensionality. They give a sense of depth to the image, and they start to tell a story. Even if the story isn't 100% clear, the idea that the subject is somewhere is going to add something to your shot. Still a little bit dark, so I'm going to add a standard hardware LED work light, but with blue gel over it. It's a subtle effect, but it still does a lot. It goes a long way in showing what the background is, and also the blue color adds further to the separation between myself and the background. So I like this image. It may be just a little bit too contrasty, so I'm going to open the blinds just a fraction to fill in some of the dark shadows and make it a little less dramatic. So there you have it, a final image created by 4 main lights and some spill from the window that gives a sense of dimension, that gives a sense of depth, that gives a sense of character. And so this is the image in a basic color space, a Rec. 709. Once I apply a LUT to it, you see that all the lighting decisions that I made are brought out and enhanced to an image that I'm really happy with. And there you have it. That's how I like to think about lighting faces for film on camera. If you have any questions, let me know, and maybe we'll do another one of these.